It's buckled out every which way you can imagine.
This is just a shot showing just exactly how much this wall leans out, bows out from this direction. Mike holding the board, you can see it's tight at the top, the board's level. As we come towards the ground, there's a lot of separation, and it's just bowing out. Alright, this shot shows miserable condition of the wall before we got here. The window is deteriorated,
Large
and
cracks.
also, yeah, massive cracks.
Seepage around the bottom of the foundation.
Yeah, it's damaged, bowing out. Just not in good condition. I'll go.
It's a part of the underlying conditions that we have to deal with, where the support beams have been compromised by termites and infestation, so they're going to have to be replaced.
Yeah,
before-
that shows just how damaged that is. With a tape measure touch to the beam falls apart.
Yeah, so these type of things have to be taken care of ahead of time before we can actually lift the foundation off, or lift the house off the foundation a little bit to give us room to deal with the block. And whoever's idea this was
The metal I-beam there.
it was well, it's just a railroad tie, and you can see down on the end where the heart was in the right place. General description, what we're doing is we're going to replace this foundation wall from about a foot down on that end all the way to the other end. We'll hold off about 18 inches off of that. We will we'll pour a footing over the top of these last two blocks in order to square us up, because this is so far out of whack that the house is settled and we have to square back up to catch this sill. I've gone along on the sill. That sill is solid, but this first beam that we normally anchor off of is not.
It's a little indicative of damage when you can take it apart with your hands.
So we'll have to sister onto this one, at least as far as this support beam. These beams installed that's kind of diffused some of the weight. We'll box this out so that we can have something to lift up with, and we'll have to replace this beam over here where the termites have gotten into it,
Well into it.
and replace it from that chimney section all the way over here. It's completely rotten. I've gone through with a pocket knife, and in order to determine how bad it was, and you can see where the tape measure is just tearing it up, so I can't use that for support. We'll get down here. This is somebody's idea of insulation over a window. You can see
Like
that.
carpet.
We have electric services coming in on this side of the house, the gas services come in on this side of the house, and those are just factors that we're going to have to deal with. But right along in here, the foundation is square, and like I say, about 8 inches, maybe a foot in on that end, it's square, and we'll cut that off and take all this out, and then put it back in with concrete block. All the sheet metal and stuff will have to go so that we can get blocks so that we can lift this back up.
You got it.
Okay, we're doing this at this time of year because we want to catch this with
That's
frost.
the winter, yeah.
The frost is still in the ground, so we don't have as much possibility as a mudslide. Excuse me, and we've installed a temporary furnace to keep the blocks and stuff warm, and so that the mortar has plenty of chance to set up before we compromise it by letting the structure back on the building. We use a whole bunch of rebar in that, and you'll see those in later sessions. Okay, so here we are at day 2. We've beamed up the outside here. We've got blocks in here every 14 inches all the way down the length of the perimeter. We put a beam underneath here. We put blocks underneath here, and you can see where the foundation's, is just still coming in on us. Tomorrow is going to be excavation, and we'll take some of the pressure off that foundation. We are not trying to lift the foundation at this time because the house has already been all gutted and re-drywalled, and we don't want any more cracks. We did replace the rock beam. As you can see, we've tied all that back in. We will take this beam out here. We've left blocks on both sides because the termites had gotten in just above that hole, and when we remove the wall, we'll cut that section out and replace it. We did have to move some gas lines up in the up so that they're out of our way. Just in order to get to where everything was flat for this beam, we took it down a heating run, which will be fine because we added an auxiliary furnace down here, and we'll put it back when we get the foundation back in. Everything's going really well according to schedule. It's just hard, heavy work. Okay, this is the blocking system that we're using. The sill, except for the area right back here where the termites have eaten it up, was solid all the way through. We've run leg screws into and you can see the pattern that we've drilled this at. The blocks are drilled both ways, and that way we can use this to stabilize the beams and everything when we get that done. So tomorrow there'll be another beam coming across here. We'll get that stabilized, and then we'll excavate the entire foundation. I'm hopeful we'll not lose any of this, but it won't be a big surprise if we do.
Here's a foundation shot from the outside. You can tell how tilted the bricks are. Pan back along here. Started digging, excavating that out. And right now we're in the process of hand digging around the gas line.
Alright, we've barricaded off the sidewalk here. We're closing it down. Now we're going to stack the dirt right in here. As you can see, we've got gas meters to contend with. We've dug down and found the gas line where it was. Eventually what we'll do, we're going to remove the siding and build a little tent-like thing so that we can keep our mortar warm, on the outside while we're doing this. And we're just beginning the excavation phase. We've got a lot more bracing and stuff downstairs. We're waiting on the delivery truck to give it a little bit more, and then we'll commence to taking all this dirt out, and then we'll topple the wall into the ditch and probably dumpster those bricks out.
Shows the state of the foundation there. The special tools required, just work gloves. Outside of the house, excavating around the foundation wall, and cut back so that we're in the basement. Walking backwards, walking backwards, walking backwards.
Alright, today we've got this all braced up. You can see our beams and stuff that's holding this up. We actually punched the door.
Yeah, I'm going with what you're pointing at.
Okay. Alright, today we ended up doing the bracing. We excavated outside. We punched a hole through here. We're ready with the concrete mixer. We've got the blocks all in the basement. Tomorrow we'll be taking out the rest of the brick and beginning to pour the footings. At this stage, I don't know whether we'll be doing that in sections or doing it complete. It will kind of depend on how the first section that we remove goes.